I found out that I was pregnant a month ago. I've been on birth control since I was 15, same pill. I'm enrolled in school, have a job, and an apartment in a city close to home. I have a cat too. Everything was perfect. 6 weeks ago I missed my period. Waited 10 days, missed my period. This wasn't normal. I originally started the pill because of my irregular period. Did I miss a pill? I counted twice, 3 times, 4. No extras. I looked back at the open pack I had for this month and the unopened one for the next month. They weren't expired. They were the exact same, down to the print of expiration date. I fished the trash can for last month's empty package, same thing. I couldn't stop thinking about it. On the way to class that morning, I grabbed 3 pregnancy tests from the campus bookstore. I sat my coffee and breakfast sandwich outside the bathroom door and went in. I've never taken a pregnancy test, but I've always heard the phrase pee on a stick, so I opened all 3 and used them at the same time and waited. I waited 3 minutes and washed my hands, grabbing each of the tests in a paper towel. All 3 of them were positive. I cried. I dry heaved. I wanted to pass out on the bathroom floor. I called my boyfriend and he was excited as ever. I was panicking, saying we weren't ready for a baby, how I couldn't stay in school and work with a newborn, how I would lose everything. I'm not ready. I don't want children right now. He started to say how I was selfish and would just have to put my classes and whatnot on hold until the baby was old enough to go to daycare. That made me nauseous. I told him that I was coming home and he met me there. He held me and cried, saying how happy he was. I felt so disgusted with myself for knowing that I didn't want this baby after seeing him cry like that. I wanted to try and keep the baby for him. I thought about having the baby and just leaving him with it. I thought about disappearing and never having the baby. But after a few days, I had to ask what he thought of me getting rid of the baby. He told me that he would hate me. He would never speak to me again. He laid into me, going on and on about me being a baby killer, how I was selfish, evil, and immature for even thinking something like that. We got into a huge argument from there and I made him leave. He broke my TV and my favorite vase. I cried over this for days, begging him to take me back. He said he would if I kept the baby. Needless to say, he didn't take me back. I spent every night after drinking bottle after bottle of Jim Beam whiskey, apple flavored, my dad's favorite. I miscarried in the dead of the night on Thursday. Thought I had a real bad stomach bug until I saw the blood in my toilet. My neighbor took me to the hospital where my now ex's sister works. He showed up with my mom, and his dad. While she half hugged me, his mom and his dad made comments about how I probably did this on purpose considering I didn't want the baby anyway. I just kept my mouth shut. My mom asked if they were here to support me or their son, and if they weren't here for me, then they should just leave. They started arguing and eventually it got loud and security escorted everyone out. But not before my ex and his family could start shouting at the top of their lungs how I'm a baby killer and I'm going to hell, etc. I'm in so much pain. I'm so tired and I'm so angry everything had to come to this. I really loved him and now I feel like I'm losing everybody because of this. My ex was 23 and I'm 19. I'm trying to convince myself that the miscarriage isn't my fault, but I still feel like shit. I, 41 male, married my wife, female 40, 14 years ago. I was madly in love with her, but about a year in, I realized that she didn't enjoy having sex. I repeatedly asked if it was me or if I could do anything to help, but she always just said that sex had never been something that she was interested in. We had our first child 5 years later, planned, which made sex even more mechanical, after which sex went from extremely sporadical to non-existent. Around that time, my best friend, male 34, moved to the city and we started exploring. A few months after, he told me that he was gay and that he wanted me to come explore the scene with him because he knew no one else. I was happy to do it and started going out to gay clubs and such, and meeting a ton of guys who I would just introduce to my friend. He is very shy, and go home. Until one day, I met a guy who made it abundantly clear that he wasn't interested in my friend, but only me. I laughed it off and told him that I was married, but he kept insisting, until I decided to kiss him just to see what it felt like. Suffice to say, it changed my whole life. Fast forward 3 years, and we became friends with benefits. He taught me so much, and for the first time in years, I felt complete. He eventually moved away, to China, and we slowly fell out of touch. But I could never go back to my old life. I continued meeting guys and having short affairs, always coming home to my family. A few weeks ago, I decided I couldn't continue lying to everyone and came out to my wife. She was initially incredibly supportive, but as it set in, has become more and more resistant to that idea. We're sleeping in separate rooms now, and she can barely look me in the eye. I was seeing a guy, and after I told him I came out, he told me that he was proud, but that he wanted to end things because he didn't want to deal with all my baggage of having a child. That got me into thinking of how incredibly hard it's going to be to meet someone who is willing to accept this part of my life. It also got me thinking about how, even with no physical intimacy, it is so nice to come home to people who love you, and how I might have just destroyed that for myself. Am I destined to be alone? I'm 41 years old, and my future feels as uncertain and terrifying as it did when I was 23. My wife and I were invited to my brother's 31st birthday. He's single and lives alone in his apartment. So to give you a heads up, my wife and him don't get along so well, but can be civil enough to sit at the same table. So we went and had dinner and talked and everything is going well. No argument until after my wife went up to use the bathroom. Later, my brother went to use the bathroom and then came back looking pissed. He kept giving me and my wife looks, but I didn't know what was going on until he pulled me aside before we left and told me that my wife had left her used pad in his bathroom. I was shocked and I didn't know what to say because this felt highly inappropriate. He said he didn't appreciate what my wife did and that it was a sign of disrespect towards him. I apologized profoundly and said that I didn't know about it. He asked me to speak to her or she wouldn't be welcome in his place anymore. We got in the car and I asked my wife about it. She nonchalantly said that there was nothing wrong with what she did and that my brother was being ridiculous. I kind of flipped and told her it was very inappropriate for her to leave her used pad in his place even if it was in the bathroom and in the trash can because it made him uncomfortable. She yelled asking what she was supposed to do and I told her that she could have taken it with her and threw it outside, not in his bathroom. That's my brother's place and he told me how he felt about it. She yelled at me calling my brother an incel and me an a-hole for getting in her face about it. She said she needed to use the bathroom and it's not like the pad was visible since she dumped it in the trash can. At home we still argued about it and she kept calling me and my brother names. She's currently not speaking to me and is avoiding me entirely. Regardless, I feel like it's his place and he gets to express what makes him uncomfortable with it. So, am I in the wrong for telling my wife that leaving her used pad in my brother's place was inappropriate? I have 2 daughters named Kate, 23 female, and Alexa, 16 female. For starters, Kate lives with me rent-free and bill-free. She used to live with her mother full-time, but her mom kicked her out when she was 18. I don't blame her mother though. Kate was absolutely terrible in her teenage years. She was rude, disrespectful, and would steal, smoke, skip class, etc. Kate barely finished high school and was put in continuation school. Since this though, Kate is doing a lot better. She didn't want to go to college, but she works at a fast food restaurant and is saving up for her own apartment. Alexa, on the other hand, is the opposite. She's amazing in school, works, volunteers, and still has time to do sports and clubs. I'm extremely proud of her and I feel as if she was too much pressure on herself. Me and my girlfriend decided to surprise her on a vacation. Alexa has always wanted to go there and it wasn't as pricey as we expected. We planned this in early October. I told Kate about the vacation and asked if she wanted to come, but she would have to pay for her own ticket. She said yes and would give me the money before Halloween. Well, she never gave me the money, even after being reminded. So I booked the trip November 1st for the 18th to the 21st. I told my daughter this Sunday at dinner and she was very excited. Kate then said, "You'll have to cancel and hope they refund. I work those days." I told her that she wasn't coming since she didn't pay. She was confused and thought I was paying for her. I told her that she was an adult who worked and lived free. Why would I pay? She got upset and said that because I'm her daughter and that I was paying for Alexa, so why not her? An argument then happened which resulted in Alexa and Kate crying and Kate saying that she hated me. Kate has been ignoring us until we apologize and pay for her ticket, which I won't. Well, yesterday Alexa sent me a link to a video on TikTok where it shows Kate crying and explaining the situation. But she lied about a lot of things in the videos and made Alexa and I look like the bad guys. The video got a lot of attention and support. She even opened up a GoFundMe where she received $500. I showed my girlfriend and we were both livid. Alexa was also very upset about the comments which fueled my anger. When she came home, a huge argument broke out and I basically kicked her out for the week. She's been posting on social media platforms talking about me, my daughter, and my girlfriend. My daughter even got some nasty messages on her social media. My girlfriend told me I'm right on this, but my daughter told me that I should just pay for her ticket. So, am I in the wrong for refusing to pay for my daughter's plane ticket, but paying for my youngest daughter who this vacation is dedicated to? I, 19 female, had a Halloween party. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I'll call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses up as a pumpkin because, well, you know. I was pretty excited just because I thought it was funny in a cute couple's costume. Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the costume my boyfriend and I would be wearing, and she said that she was probably just going to come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party. Everyone is having fun and it's a nice time. Well, it was, until Agatha walks in dressed as a pumpkin. I swear the room went silent. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I asked if I could speak to her privately and we went to the bedroom. I asked why she had chosen to dress as a pumpkin since she knew the joint costume my boyfriend and I had planned. She said she didn't see the big deal and that it would be better as a group costume. I told her that I didn't think it was funny and that I would really like her to change into a different costume. I had a witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up, but I asked her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted though and it felt like the night was ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line, but a few of her friends are saying that I was being dramatic. So, am I wrong for kicking my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her costume? I'm a college student and this is my last semester until medical school. I've never been able to get a loan. I've worked for 5.5 years to get this degree because I have to pay out of pocket, so it takes way longer. I've worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs at a time and barely had a social life. For this upcoming semester, I reached my goal for tuition, so I quit one of my jobs so I could relax a bit. I was a server bartender at 2 bars and an office job, so I always have cash hidden in my apartment in a box. And before the semester starts, a week or 2 before, I deposit it so that I can pay my tuition. My boyfriend sometimes stays over while I'm there or when I'm not. Since I've been saving for this semester, he's the only one who's been over. I've never told him about the box, but he knows that I have to pay for school. Well, yesterday night I get home to put money in the box because I was going to deposit it today and it's all gone. I freaked out and tore my apartment apart thinking that I put it somewhere else, knowing that I didn't. I called my boyfriend like crazy and no answer. I didn't sleep last night and I was panicking. Then this morning he finally calls me back. I'm yelling at him about the money and he's acting all confused and like I'm crazy. He comes over and I'm still pissed off. After a while, he finally admits that he took it so that he could borrow it and he'll pay me back. Where the hell is he going to get $14,000 from in 2 weeks? I went into a rage and I called the police and reported the theft because that's what he did. Well, it's been hours now and I guess he got his phone call because his family has been blowing up my phone and his mother has said some really hurtful and racist things to me. They've been harassing me for the past 6 hours now and it's stressing me out even more, and I hate that I'm feeling bad for him, but he stole my money that I've been saving for months. His brother did call and he was respectful and said that they'll help him pay it back and that I should just go to the police station with him and tell them that I want to drop the charges, but I really don't believe them. I could do that and never get my money back still. I don't know what to do and I hate that I'm contemplating doing this. I'm just really pissed off and I've been crying all fucking day. Am I in the wrong for getting my boyfriend arrested?